Yet another structure burned to the ground, this one outside of Nancock, thanks to the work of arson. Volunteer firefighters left their homes and suited up to become the frontline defense against what has become the worst case of unsolved arsons in Virginia history.
People are jittery. Tell me about that.
Jittery? I'm jittery because I ain't had no sleep.
No sleep for Tasley, volunteer fire chief Jeff Bell.
I ate dinner Tuesday night, went to bed at 6:30 knowing I'd be up, and I was up at 9:30 to come here and spend 10 hours. That's my life.
That's his life Tuesday into Wednesday, fighting the 66th arson at Whispering Pines Motel.
Several months of living hell.
After putting out smoldering embers at the motel, there Bell was Wednesday night into Thursday morning at the fire that burned down what was the old Mallard's restaurant. See these firefighters here? They're tired. 67 of these since November. It changes the way you live.
It's taking a toll on family life, and it's taking a toll on our personal financial lives. I mean, I had guys here till 6 this morning. We all took a day off. That comes out of somebody's paycheck, doesn't it?
Tired, dedicated, heroic faces. Jobs by day, fighting arson attacks by night.
We have support from the county, we have support from law enforcement, but our fuel costs are going up, our wear and tear on our equipment and the personnel.
They are ready to get another call tonight, and that's why since November, so many have learned how to sleep with one eye open.
Hey, there's something floating in the water over here.
It was a frantic search on the Elizabeth River.
Well, I looked over underneath the trestle and there was 3 little boys. They were playing under there, and I was thinking to myself, why in the world is 3 little kids over there by themselves? I didn't see no grown-ups.
One of those, a 15-year-old boy who went under and never came up.
So they're still searching and hoping that maybe some stroke of luck, maybe he's not in there.
Crews from all over Hampton Roads looked for hours for the teen. They focused their efforts around the Clifford Street Bridge near the Portsmouth City Park.
See him over there poking? See him? You're over there poking in the water like this. They take the sonar and they put it down in the water, and then it scans about a pretty big area.
They're standing up there just looking down in the water, and I seen a couple police boats over there in the water, but nobody's over there where he fell in at.
When dive crews moved to that area near the trestle, they found the 15-year-old's body. We're told the water was only about 5 feet deep in that spot.
He was smart, but he done something stupid this time.
Sherry Faulkner says her 15-year-old grandson Gary had such a big heart. Gary was playing with his 2 younger cousins on and around the trestle.
I guess when they jumped in the water, he did too. But it's real muddy down there, I know that. And you can get down there and get stuck in the mud and can't get back up, and I'm afraid that's what happened.
Gary was going into the 9th grade. Family says he had autism, but didn't let that stop him.
What I don't know yet is why they didn't jump in there and try to save him.
It's a heartbreaking end, not only for a community,
It's going to be a very big tragedy.
but also the teenager's family.
I'm gonna miss him. But I know he's with the Lord. He was saved and baptized.
Well, you kind of sit there and wonder, is it going to stop?
Gloucester residents have seen this act before, though it's something that they never get used to.
Water, all water. No grass, no dirt, water.
With high tide, the Jenkins home on Mondays Creek Road in Guinea became part of the creek itself Wednesday morning.
Within 20 minutes time, the whole yard was covered.
It came within inches of flooding the house.
But that yellow wire's running across there, that's how high the tide was.
Aldine Jenkins lived here all her life.
82 years. Been a long time.
She's seen plenty of storms.
I'm seeing my share of storms, yeah, I sure is.
This one not nearly as bad as the others.
A blessing, because it's not easy to tear out everything and put it back. By no means. I've been there, done that 3 times, and I don't want to have to do it again.
Just down the road, Sean Burns spent the day watching daring drivers take their chances with the high water.
I'm trying to get a lot of them to slow down.
He says those that don't will end up paying the price.
Chesapeake Bay Loctite, because it's come from the Chesapeake Bay. And if it gets into your car, it's going to lock it up tight.
As the water goes down for now, he, like everyone else, wonders what will the next high tide bring.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The next one is the one that's going to be the the maximum.
Only time will tell, but until then, residents just make the best out of a miserable situation.
Said we had oceanfront property. People pay plenty of money to get waterfront property. I didn't have to do that.
In my plans, I was the first to leave, precious child.
Early Wednesday morning, our community lost 4 precious members.
I was left here to grieve.
Miss Virginia Grogan, a loving mother, grandmother, and wife. Precious Thomas, Michael, and little Gabe.
Oh, that can never be filled.
On a cold Gloucester night,
It's so sad, so sad.
the community is sharing warmth with a grieving family.
One word sums it up is sorrow.
Together, they'll provide strength
It's the start of a process that's going to take eternity to fix.
and begin that healing process.
But when things like this happen, we all come out of the woodworks to put whatever together to help out.
It was a fire that took away 4 family members, but now it's the flames that serve in their memory. Tough for any parent to think about.
I am so blessed that God has given me 4 children, and I have my children with me, and they don't. That's a hard pill to swallow, and I love them, my kids, to no end, but that is still very, very difficult.
Don't cry, mommy.
Thomas, Michael, and Gabriel, along with their grandmother Virginia, won't be forgotten.
Close to God tonight.
This community will make sure of that.
Hopefully they can see the love that we share for them.
So don't cry for me.
For an area that wants to be family friendly, these empty spots with subtle reminders of what used to be here leave residents divided. Tonight, Garrett Ott happily plays his music in Stockley Gardens Park because he finally feels safe.
I prefer to play outside, but I was concerned before with a lot of the crime around here.
His fears are shared by many.
This guy had a big 2x4 and he was just, beating another homeless man.
But now that the park benches are gone, City Councilwoman Teresa Whibley is not only hearing why they needed to go.
Many of the residents in this area have come being fearful about not being able to use their park, and now, frankly, aggression to them.
There were several people at this meeting who thought the benches removed to reduce crime should have stayed put.
Just because you're not a homeowner or a Ghent resident doesn't mean you don't have a right to sit in a park in Norfolk.
Julie Hurst says this is a humanitarian issue and that the root of what so many people have called a problem here, which is homelessness, still isn't being addressed. But for homeowners like Mark Bonney, they say they've seen enough.
I've seen drug use, drug selling, littering, and even if you look back in the history here, we've even had murders take place on the steps of Ghent Methodist Church.
What they haven't seen in the last 4 days is far greater than a bench to sit on. Tranquility has been like music to their ears.
I mean, I'm shaking. I'm so mad. But more than mad, I'm just sad.
There's a pile of rubble and dirt in the spot where customers normally get their cars cleaned.
I was looking at my cameras from home and I noticed the camera was pointed at the roof.
So Brandon De La Garza says he came into his car wash to find someone had backed into a brick wall, protecting the coin vault.
This is the vault head, which is stainless steel. He would have never gotten through it.
De La Garza thinks this is the man behind it in a green van.
It shows him pulling in, walking around, noticing there's a camera. He looks up at the camera and then he gets back in his van, backs it up, climbs on the roof of his van and points the camera away. Maybe he thought that was the only camera in the whole car wash, I don't know.
But you can see him on several other cameras, including this one by the coin machine. De La Garza says the man leaves and returns a little while later, then backs up.
This is when he rams it. So he left when those 2 customers came.
He says the thief stole the control box but didn't get the money. It wouldn't have been much anyway.
Maybe $12. Most of it's tokens.
But for De La Garza, the cost is overwhelming.
Close to $2,000 by the time we're done, not including the box.
Which is how much?
That's anywhere from $1,200 to $1,800.
So you're looking at close to $4,000.
Right before Christmas.
The view from Victor Hill's Newport News porch is simply breathtaking.
You see amazing things out in that water.
Unfortunately, though, Hill hasn't been able to go further than the porch the last couple days.
Oh yeah, I am trapped.
Hill, who suffered a stroke Christmas Eve 2009, had his motorized wheelchair stolen from his front yard over the weekend. Easy to lose faith, but he hasn't.
I'm gonna be all right. Just like now, he got me. He using you right now.
But the view from that porch is about to get better today. And the tears are once again masked by that infectious smile.
Hey, boy, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. It's good to see you.
Yes, sir. It's good to be seen.
I'll bet it is.
For Hill, help has arrived. The crew at Hampton Roads Mobility brought a much-needed gift.
Watched you last night and what happened, and we felt so bad.
Appreciate you, man.
Figured, you know, we got to do something to help you out.
A new chair to replace the stolen one.
Oh boy, that's a workout.
And this one is much better.
It's a lot softer than mine.
Which means there's only one thing left to do.
I'm like Tony the Tiger now. It's great.
And that's, of course, go for a spin.
I think I can handle it.
Now he's rolling again.
Victor's got a great attitude, just loving life, and he shouldn't be locked up in his home.
No longer confined to the porch.
When you need help, call away you need. They get something done for you.
Hill can get on with his life.
I'm back in the world again.
Tail. Elvis, what would you like to hear?
With a dog named after a king, you'd think Chesapeake's Brooks Bosman would love rock and roll. You can see, though, his passion is a touch older.
I started in Norfolk in 3rd grade.
After playing for years professionally, Bosman opened Mercury Fine Violins along Battlefield. He's got the shop and the merchandise, but there's one important piece missing.
When people go up and down Battlefield Boulevard, they need to see my sign, because that's a large part of my potential income is being visible.
Bosman searched online and found VSG signs and graphics to do the work.
Complete project is $3,500.
In early August, Bosman cut a check, a deposit for the project.
$2,000.
Months later, the space above his shop is still bare.
It's rather disheartening.
Disheartening because the check was cashed, and now VSG owner William Mickley wasn't returning any emails or calls.
I don't know if he's disappeared. I don't know if he's in business.
Yeah, I'm just like a little behind on things, but we're going to get it straightened out.
10 on Your Side found Mickley outside his Chesapeake business. He admitted he got behind on other projects and hadn't even started Bosman's sign.
Why not get back to him and let him know that? Well, I'll admit that's my fault.
Mickley told 10 on Your Side he'd start working on the sign right away at a discounted rate. But at this point, Bosman just wants a refund.
I just hope he has the money.
And once that's taken care of, he can get back to what he loves the most, playing a tune or two for a hound dog.
3 tickets, 210.
You couldn't ask for a better day
I'm hanging out at Harbor Park.
to sit and watch a game.
I should be at work.
Die-hard fans always find a way to support the team.
We're pretty much living, eating baseball.
But will they support two teams in Hampton Roads?
I know that sometimes there's a divide between Norfolk and Virginia Beach.
It's a fight financier Jay Short doesn't understand.
We're hoping to get started in April 2014, and then the team would begin playing in April 2015.
Short is chairman of the group working to raise $25 million to build a stadium in Virginia Beach.
The Raleigh-Durham-Chapel Hill area is much small, well, not much, but smaller than the Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Chesapeake metropolitan area, and yet it has 2 affiliated minor league baseball teams.
He believes there are enough fans to go around, and so does Tides general manager Joe Gregory.
I don't see it as a threat or really competition to us.
The Tides are a major league affiliate.
It's people that really want the whole professional experience, and
You know, we've got a pitcher here that pitched the last 2 years for the Yankees.
On the other field, there would be a place for kids to run and catch home run balls, and nearby a dozen fields for youth baseball tournaments, which would keep travel players like Bailey in the area.
I usually play outfield and sometimes first base.
And draw in families from out of town.
Foul ball.
Say your son's team gets eliminated early on, you're in Virginia Beach.
It could be a win.
I think the more people you get playing baseball, you know, it's going to help everybody.
For both teams.
Should we go ahead before they get too much closer? I don't want to fight to start. Giving them an opportunity to get familiar and calm down a little bit. It's been a stressful morning. My name is Virginia Tavener. I am the administrative coordinator of the Virginia Beach SPCA Wildlife Program. Ready? Today we are releasing the birds that were rescued during the diesel fuel spill 3 weeks ago. All the waterfowl had slight to moderate oiling. We were fortunate that they were recovered within probably 24 to 48 hours of being exposed to the diesel fuel. We did have to treat them for internal issues related to ingesting the additives that are in diesel fuel.
Oh, look, it's the geese!
They're preening, yeah, they're bathing and preening their feathers a little bit more. It's probably so they can get more buoyancy going. We always joke and say they're getting the human scent off of them. Yeah.
Look at that one. That one, it was just on his hind legs and going like this.
We're probably close to 60 plus today. So a lot of birds at once.
And me and the geese, we work together, and here's my badge. And I like to pretend that I'm their boss and like we solve crimes and stuff like that.
Some of the geese were at different locations, so we wanted to make sure we were able to reunite them all at once.
They look so happy to be home, look at them.
So our goal is to get everyone reunited. So happy endings.
You remember me, I'm Ellis James.
It wouldn't be politically correct.
I'm in the phone book.
To call Ellis James a door-to-door salesman.
I will come back around.
Though he's pushing.
You don't need to worry about the signs.
Something he believes everyone should use.
Thank you for taking a few minutes. Our democracy works better when people are involved and express their opinion through their votes.
For almost 6 decades, James's mission is to get others to use that civic duty.
I cut my teeth on Jack Kennedy's campaign. That was the first big campaign I was involved in.
His day begins at his headquarters at his Norfolk home, getting ready for his campaign.
I brag to all of my folks and friends out in the precincts. I am a professional sign planter.
Yup, he's that guy who puts signs in front yards all over the city.
You notice that I'm facing the sign so that it will get the maximum exposure at this particular little corner.
Slowly hobbling up and down the street in staircases, every step painful.
And these 2 blown knees haven't even been able to slow me down. Only reason they haven't been operated on is because I haven't had time. I don't have 3 months or 6 months in between elections and so on to recuperate and recover.
Which doesn't leave him much room to clean out the car he's been driving since 1993.
It's got 210,000 miles on it.
A car no doubt more recognizable than the man behind the wheel.
People call my car the Subaru political wagon.
Just like its owner, it too is covered head to toe in stickers.
1, 2, 3.
So many of them.
15, 16, 25.
It's hard to count.
100 bumper stickers.
Over the years, the stickers have faded, just like some candidates.
And I've even had several candidates seek me out and ask me, Ellis, would you use some of our bumper stickers on the car?
Salesman?
How are you?
Well, maybe.
I wanted to show you something.
Even his wife of 52 years doesn't ask him to tone it down.
Thank you, Mrs. Cooper. Okay. She never has said that, but she asked me to turn the TV down.
James knows some of his candidates will win, some will lose, but if you get out there to vote, he'll tell you it's a victory for everyone.
There are 2 ways to go in life. You can sit on the sidelines and complain, or you can get in the battle. Talk to you later.
For photojournalists,
it may look like gooey caramel, but these are no candy makers. They're making sweet creations, though, and they like it hot.
The furnace itself runs about 2,000 degrees constantly.
And it's all glass.
It's a great material. It's mysterious, it's strong, it's fluid, you can break it.
Hopefully not right now, though. Famed artist Thurman Statham is here to go fishing, so to speak, and it'll be a big catch.
We'll probably end up making maybe as many as a couple hundred.
Fish. Going from paper to furnace, they'll soon be swimming upstream to CHKD, where they'll be part of a facelift to the entrance of the Children's Hospital.
There's so many doors that are being opened, I pray, by this project.
And with the precision of a NASCAR pit crew, the squad at the Chrysler Glass Studio is shaping, blowing, crimping, and burning. But there's more to this fish fry than meets the eye. Statham hopes to create a therapeutic vision at CHKD.
I'm not a doctor, so I can't operate on you, but I can address issues of anxiety, which is a huge percentage of health issues stem from that.
CHKD kids helped with the designs, and now those designs are being made a reality.
I see the visual as one aspect of the project.
And hopes this fish story will be more than just the catch of the day. At the Chrysler Glass Studio in Norfolk.
New York, New York. The city that never...
I just couldn't sleep last night.
A must-see destination.
I'm going to try to do some things that I've never done before just because I'm here.
But for Kelly and Jonathan Derrick, this trip is...
definitely all business.
We're here for one reason only, pretty much. And that's just to get me better.
And the Derricks are hoping New York can do just that.
It has been a long road, yeah. But we got things done just in the nick of time.
The long road from Chesapeake to the Big Apple began in December when Jonathan was diagnosed with rectal cancer. It had moved into his liver.
I don't want to give up, and there's too much to live for.
That's what Jonathan told us when we first met him in June. At the time, the 35-year-old didn't have much fight left in him. After months of chemo and radiation, it seemed nothing was working. The cancer was only getting worse. In just a matter of months, their lives were turned upside down.
You never know how much somebody means until, something like this happens.
Jonathan's doctor suggested an innovative procedure called hepatic arterial infusion. The process was researched and developed by doctors at Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York and is only done in a handful of hospitals in the country. The tumor in his rectum would first be removed and at the same time deliver chemo directly to his liver.
And it could have never been done anywhere else but here.
But before he could get to the hustle and bustle of the big city, he needed to get past Optima Health, his insurance provider. At first, Optima refused to pay for the surgery at Sloan Kettering. But a week after 10 on Your Side first profiled Jonathan's story, the insurance company had a change of heart. It decided to cover the expenses in New York after all.
Feels like it's been years. I mean, it's a long time coming.
The morning before the surgery, 10 on Your Side caught up with the Derricks just outside of Sloan Kettering.
I'm ready to get it done, but I'm scared and nervous at the same time. But I'm definitely ready to get it started.
360 miles from home turned into only a matter of paces for Jonathan's possible life-changing moment.
I told her, I said, they can go ahead and put me to sleep now, knock me out, just get me in there and get it done.
The team of doctors started prepping Jonathan at noon. He would go under the knife 4 hours later.
It was a long night.
It was a long surgery.
It's almost like a movie when 2 hours would go by and 4 hours would go by and 6 hours would go by and ended up being about 10 hours.
And the doctor told the Derricks it was not easy.
He said it was one of the hardest ones he's ever performed.
The tumor was surrounded by an infection. One wrong move and it could have been disastrous. Doctors were able to get the tumor out, and soon his liver will start the chemo process. All in all, another victory for the Derricks.
Anything can happen right now, and I think we understand that. We need this to happen, we need this to happen, and we need a little bit of luck.
Jonathan is far from cancer-free. The last 7 months has taken his family down a dark journey. But everyone believes there are brighter days ahead.
Hopefully be a life changer.
You gonna get your feet on there? All right, here we go. Nice new routine.
It takes a certain dedication,
There we go.
a certain drive,
All the way down.
an inner strength to better yourself.
Step back. Overhead press.
No one knows that better than Lisa Yancey.
You got to push them every day.
Fitness instructor by day, mom by night, and she finds herself constantly pushing.
2, 3, nice, 4. When you're a fitness person, have your own gym or work at a gym and teach classes, and then you go home and your son, is not able to walk, it's difficult.
7-year-old William made his presence known earlier than anyone expected.
He was born very fast, in about 10 minutes.
A quick delivery. The problem was Lisa was only 26 weeks in her pregnancy.
He was a 1 pound, 14 ounce. They called him a micro preemie, and he had a lot of complications.
Almost the size of his father's hand. The couple prepared for the worst.
As the days went on and weeks, they started giving us some very difficult news that, he's got a brain bleed that's very severe, and that he would definitely have cerebral palsy.
17 surgeries later, 5 of them on his brain. William now has to learn things we take for granted.
He was not able to put weight on his feet. He didn't even know his own body parts.
But simple tasks are becoming easier.
7.
The son of 2 athletes is defying the odds.
1.
But he's now getting help from strangers.
Nice job. All right. It's very difficult because he cannot ride a regular bike.
Preston's March, an organization from Delaware, builds adaptable bikes for kids with special needs.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying not to cry.
It heard about William's story and knew a bike had to be delivered here too.
He says, Mommy, I want to go outside and ride with the kids. Now we can.
You got it.
Those steps he's been working so hard to perfect now have purpose. Once he's strapped in, William is off, a little unsure of his new prized possession.
It's awesome that William's got his new green bike, his favorite color.
Amazing. It was just so awesome to see that independence.
Ready? Let's turn around. Let's go this way.
William's parents are hoping this is a turning point.
I don't think William knows he has a disability. He doesn't act like he does, or either he just doesn't care because he wakes up happy every day.
A new direction headed towards a life of freedom.
And he loves it.
For photojournalists,
how about the bike?